No score, top first, 2-on, 2-out. Mark Gardner to Pat Burrell. Pat Burrell sends it deep, but Calvin Murray running, and he's stretching. Great catch. Giants escape the inning unscored upon. We're going to flash back to Tuesday. Rob Nen facing Mike Lieberthal in the ninth, and up and in and gets him on the chin.
Hit him in the face.
Ouch. Wednesday's game now. Wolf, as we said, starting. Calvin Murray, first Giants batter of the game, and he goes inside and punks him right on the thigh. Murray is not pleased, and the home plate ump says, let's have none of that. 4-4 score. Vincent Padilla pitching to Ellis Burks with the bases loaded. Burks, slow roller. Scott Rowland is there, but no place to go with it. The run scores. The Giants take the lead 5-4, go on to win 5-4. Russ Davis, who had 4 home runs in his first 59 games, now has 4 in his last 7 games. He went deep in the first inning when the Giants got 4 off Wolf.
President Jimmy Carter braving the cold drizzle that occurred all throughout this game. Kevin Millwood to Steve Finley. Brian Jordan, acrobatic as usual. Finley 0 for 4. He's hitting .297. We're tied. Armando Reynoso pitching to Andrew Jones. Grounder to Matt Williams. Williams looks to first, then tries to get Rafael Furcal at second. Furcal called safe by Eric Cooper. Jay Bell not thrilled with the call, and neither is Arizona manager Buck Showalter, who's going to come out to argue this thing. Just take another look, just in case you stepped away to pet your dog. It looks like Furcal never got his hand in, and Bell did apply the tag. Buck still arguing, but of course to no avail. Do they ever change? Chipper Jones taking advantage. Chipper 2 for 4, 2 RBI. He's hitting .300. Furcal scores on that hit. Braves go up 2-1. They're up 3-1 in the 8th. Millwood. The pitch to Bell off the Millwood. Furcal gets to it and then throws him out from behind second. Millwood allows 4 hits through 8. Braves go on to the victory. What about Armando Reynoso? He drops to 0-9 lifetime against Atlanta. With the Reds, Bobby J. Jones to Ken Griffey Jr. 1 on, and Griffey has someplace else to go. You know, 23 of Griffey's 38 homers have come with men on base. He has 114 RBIs. It's now 3-2 Mets. Now 5-3 Mets. Jones to Sean Casey. Out of the island and into the highway. That 2-run shot ties the game at 5. Casey's 12th home run of the year. 2 batters later, in comes Dave Wallace to take out Jones and bring in Bobby M. Jones, who pitched well. Top of the 7th as we move along. Mike Piazza didn't start, but he came in to pinch hit. One of 41 players to play in this game. Bases full for the Mets' leading RBI man, and Piazza, 6-4-3 double play. Benny Agbayani would score 8-5 Mets, but that's all they would get in that inning. It was 8-6. John Franco's pitch to Dimitri Young. That's a single. Griffey would come in to score. Reds now within 1, 8-7. Franco still there. Alex Ochoa walks to load the bags. Franco out. In comes Armando Benitez facing Benito Santiago. And Santiago knows impossible can only be found in the dictionary of fools. A grand slam for Benito Santiago, who said he was only thinking sack fly. Going for 1, but got 4. John Franco and the Mets, losers. For Armando Benitez, just his 5th blown save and 42 chances. The slam by Santiago, the 7th of his career, first in 3 years. The Reds score 6 in the 8th. The Mets have now lost 13 of their last 15 September games. 10-9 is man on first in the first. Ray Sanchez with a tester. Knobloch. Simple like that. First for the out. Knobloch 2 assists in this game, but he was hitless at the plate. No errors. Bottom 9, 2-1 Yanks. Yanks resting Mariano Rivera. Mike Stanton in to Carlos Fabulous. His only plate appearance makes it count. The double. Luis Ordaz would score. It's not quantity, it's quality. We tie the game at 2. But as we move along, in the case of Johnny Damon, it is both quantity and quality. Right here, as Damon proves my point, 4 for 5 night, 1 RBI, and there he drives in Fabulous for the go-ahead run for the Kansas City Royals. Just the Royals' 2nd win in 9 games against the New York Yanks. Mike Stanton blows his 4th straight save chance, denying El Duque his 5th straight win. Kansas City's Brian Meadows goes the distance for the could pitch faster than Steve Sparks, the knuckleballer, who got some defensive help. Adam Kennedy, the grounder. Shane Halter, the charge and throw home. Out is Garrett Anderson, still no score. Kennedy 1 for 3. Top of the 3rd, no score, runners on 2nd and 3rd. Mo Vaughn grounded to 2nd. Kevin Stocker would score on that, though. Mo 0 for 3 with a walk. He's hitting .284, 1-0 Anaheim. Tying run on 3rd, 2 outs. Troy Percival on the mound, striking out Dean Palmer with the heat to end the game. Angels get the shutout. Scott Schoenweiss and Percival combined to hand Detroit its Major League leading 12th shutout.
Didn't last long. Bottom first, one on, one out. Frank Thomas. Could I tie my career high for home runs, please? Number 41. Miguel Ordonez follows. 15th time the Sox have gone back-to-back. They would score 7 runs in the first. Bottom of the fourth, Scott Sheldon enters the game as a catcher, and there you see he catches a strikeout. Later in the fifth, Sheldon playing first base. In the sixth, trots over and plays second. He gives a little effort. Well, not much there, but that at least gets him a job over at shortstop, which he trades in the 7th inning for right field. And there he is. Remember, this all pays the same now. In the 7th, he goes over to center, a little swap there, and in the 8th inning, he's now in left field. Unbelievable. Later in the 8th, Sheldon runs into pitch. And Sheldon against Jeff Leiter. And is Jeff Leiter going to hear about this? 68-mile-an-hour gas, and he can't catch up with it. The Rangers bullpen. We're all going to be out of work. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. What about 5? There it is. Sheldon finishes the game up at third, his natural position. He's only the 3rd player ever to play all 9 positions in one game. Joins Bert Campaneris, Cesar Tovar. Those two did it as well 32 years ago, the last time it happened.
First pitch, Pedro Estacio facing Eric Young, and that was his first mistake. Gets it in the pitching hand, does Estacio. Young would get the infield single. Estacio thought he would be able to stay. He didn't, he couldn't, he left. He with a bruised hand, but he won't miss a start, says the Rockies. 2 outs, Todd Helton up, 2 on. Game tied, Kerry Wood freezes him. Helton 0 for 5, 3 Ks. His average, a puny 384. Top of the 3rd, runners on 2nd and 3rd. We're tied. Sammy Sosa addicted to length. His 16th career homer in 34 games at Coors. Only Eric Karros has more as a visitor. 3 for 5 with Sosa with 3 RBIs. Top 11 now, Mark Grace. Big hit, big hitter. His first triple of the year for Gracie. Sosa comes in to score. Mark Grace is 4 RBIs away from 1,000 in his career. The Cubs post their first win in their last 7 games. Todd Van Poppel allows just a run and 3 hits in 3 innings.
Welcome to the NFL. The Houston Texans. Official colors of the 32nd franchise battle. Red, steel blue, Liberty white with a Bulls head logo that includes a Texas Lone Star on one side. Texans take the field next season. Hut, hut.
The unveiling seen live on NFL Tonight. Marlins Houston before the game. Bill Spires showing his support for Houston's new NFL franchise. Texans owner Bob McNair, the opening pass to Drayton McLean, the Astro owner, and then he spikes it on home plate. Already there's chemistry. Preston Wilson facing Jose Lima. Wilson taking us for a ride, his 25th home run of the year. Lima leads the world in homers allowed with 42. He's 8 shy of the ML record held by
Bert Blyleven.
Accurate. Jeff Bagwell, always on target. He's simply next level. 2 for 4, 3 RBI. Bags hitting 317. Astros go on to the big, big win. What about Jose Lima? All right, he's won back-to-back starts for the
Garrett Stevenson against Vladimir Guerrero. Career homers at Busch Stadium for Vlad Guerrero, 0. 1. 2-run shot is 33rd. Expos up 2-1. Bottom 4. Hermanson, Justin Hermanson against Stevenson, and Stevenson thinks he's got his 3rd base hit of the year. He is wrong. Jose Vidro, you know you can't spell glove without love. Hermanson, Stevenson again, and another one, Vidro, stealing it again. Poor Stevenson, he's batting 40. That's tough, 40. All right, Vlad Guerrero, career homers at Busch Stadium is 2. His 6th multi-homer game of the year. Expos up 4-1, they win at 7-2. It's Vlad's 10th career multi-homer game, and Hermanson's first start against the Cards since September 26th of 1998. Today's important 9 innings for both clubs. A-Rod against Joey Hamilton. Oh. Alex Rodriguez, that is his 34th, 107 RBIs, hitting 332. He's pretty much a walk-in lottery. 2-1 Mariners. Bottom 4, Chad Madelon with the bases chucked, tied at 2, and Brett Tomko hits him. Madelon also had 2 hits and took one for the team and gets the cheap RBI. 3-2 Jays. Next batter, Carlos Delgado with the bases loaded still, and well, you can just start the merry-go-round now. Craig Graybeck scores. Shannon Stewart scores, and Madelon scores. It's 6-2 Blue Jays. Delgado's 52nd double, 127 ribs now. Top 7, 7-2 Jays. Hamilton pitching to Stan Javier, and Delgado, nice spear, doubles off David Bell. Blue Jays win at 7-3. You like a guy who can drive him in and save him too. Jays stop their losing jag at 4 and a 7-game skid against the M's at the Sky Dome. Hamilton and his surgically repaired shoulder have thrown 26 innings now. Arrojo going for his 5th straight win, facing Randy Velarde. That's really high. So is that wall. Goes off the monster. Sal Fasano going to score. Terrence Long score 3-zip ace. We go to the top of the 3rd. Arrojo here, though, still facing Adam Hyatt. Man on 4-zip ace, and Carl Everett giving the chase, and gets his glove underneath the ball. You're out. Pedro loves it. So Pedro, he's got a baseball, and I'm not sure what this is. You're very sleepy. You will bring me donuts. Anyway.
Don't forget the coffee.
Coffee. Bottom of 4. Dante Bichette at the plate.
Here's a hit. Way back. Gone. Welcome to Boston, Dante Bichette.
It's his first homer as a Red Sox. 4-1 A's. Bottom 7 for 2 A's. Jeff Tam on the mound. Troy O'Leary on first. Jason Varitek at the dish.
Oh boy, hit deep to right by Varitek. Back it goes! But it's pulled back by Terrence Long. Terrence Long has pulled it out of the Red Sox bullpen and has saved the day, at least for now.
Take one more look, especially at shooter. There you see him. That's Rod Beck. He's all excited now. Oh, yeah! Bummer. Matt Stairs, he likes it. Bottom 8-5-2, Jim Messier facing Bichette with 2 on. Bichette delivers again. He now has 2 RBIs as a Red Sox. Jose Offerman scoring. Nomar over to third. It's 5-3 A's. 2 batters later here in the 8th. Messier facing Jason Varitek. He's a catcher. He knows strike 3 when he sees it. That's it. A's go on to win it by a count of 6-4. A win for Mike Mulder, who leads the AL in hits and runners allowed for 9 innings. 5 hits and 6 frames, 2 runs.
It's August 2nd. No score in the first. Fred McGriff into the hole. Alomar goes there. He's psychic, you know, nailing Fred. Bottom 3, 1 on. No score for Robbie Alomar against Ryan Roop. Robbie said he couldn't remember hitting a ball that far. How far for his 17th? A 430-foot shot. 2-0 Indians. Next inning, D-Ray strike back. The rookie, Steve Cox. He's a master batter, getting a hold of a hanging breaking ball off of Chuck Finley. Cox 2 for 4. David Segui, slice. Then Cox showing off the leather. Sweet dive. Hey, guess who's up again? Robbie Alomar in the 7th, this time against Travis Harper. And Alomar is so money, and he doesn't even know it. Robbie Alomar 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. His second homer of the night. This one 414 feet, give or take an inch or 2. Indians win, so what else is new? Chuck Finley and Paul Shuey combined on a 4-hitter. Finley gelling when it matters most, winning for the 3rd time.